Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a chatty get ready with me. I am going to be doing a peach inspired look with the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. I'll be using my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation. I'm not going to be chatting a lot about the makeup that I am using. This is set up really weird. Okay, I feel like this looks a little better. I am filming on my phone today because the plan was to just quickly get ready and do my makeup and talk to you guys while I did it. I didn't want to bother setting up my lights. It's actually right there, and sitting on my bed and all of that, because then I have to, transfer all my makeup and my mirror, my brushes, and it was just too much. And I thought I could do that while Emmett had a nap, but he heard me talking and he's not feeling good because he just got vaccinations yesterday. So we do have a little helper with us today. So yeah, I just wanted to do my makeup, have some chats. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm hoping that this video is not a million years long and that you don't mind the phone quality. I can already tell that my skin is looking really red, and I still have this like melasma discoloration from my pregnancy. It's not going away. There you can see it really pronounced. It almost looks like a dent in my forehead. I think once I am done breastfeeding, I'm going to have to go in for like some good peels by a professional to get that off, but we shall see. I'm going to see if he'll be happy in his chair with some toys. Okay, I'm just going to get started because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this. Primer water, don't eat it, in the coconut scent, followed by a pore filling primer. Again, everything will be linked down below. So I did want to touch on, I already did a little bit in my whole collection project pan update as to why I'm not using my hairspray because of postpartum hair loss and how it's really affected my confidence, and you guys were being so nice. So Emma is my third child. After Max, my hair was the best it had ever looked. It was full and long and wavy and shiny. It was so great. After Wyatt, I had hair loss again, and it didn't start growing back a lot until after I was done breastfeeding, which with Wyatt was 22 months. And then shortly after that, we conceived Emmett. I have an eyelash in my eye. Around when Emmett was born, all of that hair that I had lost with Wyatt was about like bang length, maybe. It was still in mostly the same spots, the crown of the head and my hairline right here. And it had all grown back, like I said, like maybe 6+ inches. And I was so happy with that. And then as soon as I started losing hair again, it was all the shorter pieces. So everything that had grown back was falling out again. But now I'm starting to lose more of the longer pieces of hair. So that's going to be distracting. Emmett's playing with a crinkly toy. So even more hair loss than with Wyatt. So I'm no stranger to postpartum hair loss, but it is still, it's like a self-confidence killer. I don't know how to explain it if you've never like had thin or thinning hair. I've always had fine hair, but a lot of it. And like I literally have bald patches. I showed them in that video. I have it filled in with eyeshadow today that doesn't match the greatest, and I also started having to part my hair in the middle, which I usually part it to one side, but like all of this is gone. And yeah, so I don't want to bother doing my hair. So I just wanted to touch on that and just say that it's a thing, it's normal, it's due to hormones and pregnancy and all of that. I think breastfeeding does make it worse. I did not breastfeed Max, and I've breastfed the other two, but to me, like, I wouldn't not breastfeed to not lose my hair, if that makes sense. And it totally happens to mothers who formula feed as well. So I don't want to make that sound like that's a recommendation to not breastfeed your kids, because that's totally not what I'm saying. I am filling in my brows with, I just had a heart attack, with the MAC Single in Charcoal Brown. MAC is not cruelty free, which, let's just hop right into the biggest topic for today that I wanted to chat about, and that is my mission 100% cruelty free. You guys know I've been transitioning my makeup collection to cruelty-free beauty and have been working towards that since January of 2019. So starting in January 2019, the makeup entering my collection was cruelty-free, but I didn't declutter all of my non-cruelty-free products. Friends and family have gone through it. Kaylee Wesley bought a bunch from me that I mailed down to Texas, which was so helpful to me. But despite all of that, I still have so much of it. And my question is, like, I think I started January 2019 at 80% cruelty free, and I'm currently sitting at 88% cruelty free with makeup, but if I include all beauty products, I'm at 84%. That's like including my perfume and my body care, nail polish, like all of that brings it down significantly. So I am making progress, but at what point do I just declutter the rest? Because I'm starting to feel weird showing these products in like the single in my videos. Now, I love project panning, and I hate being wasteful. So I don't want to throw these things in the trash if they're still good. Obviously, I'm going to use as much as I possibly can, but there's plenty of panners on here that are panning products that they've had for as long as they can remember, and I don't know if I want those products to be non-cruelty free products. I don't mind panning a lipstick that is old as long as it's not expired, of course. Like, smells fine, works fine. But do I want to be holding on to my non-cruelty free products? I don't know if that makes any sense. Sorry, my brows were taking way too long to do. So using these products only off camera is not realistic for me, because I'm either not doing my makeup unless I'm filming. This might be a little dark. Or I get the opportunity to film where my makeup's already done. So like the makeup collection that I have, I want to be able to use on camera. This is going to sound a little convoluted. I'm going to try my best to string together my thoughts. I even have notes, and it's not helping me. So I was really thinking about it after watching Sarah's declutter videos that she's posted. I can link those down below. And she's also on a journey to have a cruelty-free collection. She's actually the creator of the Mission 100% Cruelty-Free Project Pan, which I love doing, and, you know, making progress, seeing the numbers change, except for when they go down, because brands keep going not cruelty-free instead of the other way around, like Wet n Wild, Physicians Formula. I no longer consider Morphe cruelty-free. So I'm really proud of the percentage progress I have made despite those setbacks that were of no failings of my own, if that makes sense. I'm just putting this on with a brush and then I'll blend over it with my Real Techniques sponge. So my question is, when am I big enough, or big enough to worry about it? I was under the impression that like, oh, I only have like 1,000 subscribers. Nobody's really caring if I'm using non-cruelty free products or they're seeing them in Project Pans, especially since that's mainly the community that I'm in. Because I'm trying to use them up. Even though I'm showing them and people are seeing that maybe they're pretty, maybe they were an old favorite, they're not cruelty free, and I make sure to say that, so it doesn't really matter. However, it's happened a couple of times now where I'm inadvertently promoting something. Whether it's on Instagram or my YouTube video, someone will be like, oh, I love the color of nail polish you're wearing. What is it? And I have to say, like, it's Essie, not cruelty free. And they're like, oh, well, I'm not cruelty free, which I'm not judging anybody for your own consumer choices. Like, that's not my point here. But then I inadvertently commissioned that sale. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone went to the drugstore or wherever and bought, whether it's a lip product that they saw me wear, a nail polish, something they saw me use and they liked the look of it and went and bought it. So does that now mean I shouldn't be using those products on camera? Because I don't want to be promoting non-cruelty free products. My intention was to show me using them up and then not repurchasing them. So at what point do I really go through and pull everything out and rehome or toss everything that is left? Rehoming, it would be my number one priority. And some other exceptions would be my Wet n Wild and Physicians Formula products that haven't always been non-cruelty free, so I want to give myself even more time to work on those. But say it's at the end of this year, I will have been actively trying to use up all of my non-cruelty free products for 2 years. That's including lipsticks and foundations, which are technically expired according to the little jar on the back. However, as long as it smells and performs fine, I don't throw away my makeup for that reason. But I also wouldn't be comfortable giving that to somebody else. So do I throw that stuff in the garbage to avoid using it on my channel? Like, I'm at a like moral crossroads. I know that sounds really dramatic for this topic, but it's like I'm inadvertently commissioning the sales for non-cruelty free products, so promoting animal testing, which makes me feel really uncomfortable and terrible, or I'm tossing things into a landfill. And I was kind of discussing this with my husband, not in regards to beauty products, but in the other issues going on in the world, and like both locally and globally. There's just so many causes and issues, both political, human rights, environmental, animal rights. There's just so many things that need our attention all of the time. Eventually you need to choose. Does that make sense? Like, how can I choose which is more important? Animal cruelty in the cosmetics industry or environmental impact from beauty consumerism and my beauty packaging that I could have used up? I also wanted to mention that tracking my percentage, like I have been in my makeup inventory, has affected my ability to declutter. Now, again, this is not decluttering in a way that I'm throwing things out if I can use them, but I was holding on to absolutely everything, even if I didn't love it, because it was cruelty free. And because if I decluttered it, it would take away from that offsetting balance and potentially make my percentage go down. I'm starting to get over that. So, for example, a friend of mine was needing or wanting a neutral eyeshadow palette, and I have many. So I gave her a Tarte one. And that, doing that, and she wanted a couple of other things. And before, I would have been really hesitant to give it to her. Not, that sounds so stupid. I would have. But all of the products that I decluttered dropped my percentage down a point. And I was like, this is why I didn't want to do that. I want to hoard all of the cruelty-free products forever because it's the biggest part of my collection and the offsetting number to like my fraction. Oh, that sounds like so stupid to say aloud. Anyways, I feel like I made that way more serious than I meant to. I'm now using my Cover FX blush duo that Steph sent me. I kind of am starting to feel like I want a time limit. And I want some advice. But in terms of panning, what is a good time limit? Is 2 years enough? And then any of the foundations or whatever that are left over, I can like guilt-free be allowed to throw them away because they're no longer good. I'm like really struggling with finding the right answer right now. And especially like now that I've taken into consideration that some people have been like making purchases based on what they see on my channel and my Instagram now. If you've noticed, when I link products, whether that's in, my empties or my project pans, anything like that, if I use magic links, so I get a small commission if you make a purchase by clicking on those links, which I always find, which I'm always super grateful if you do, though don't feel pressured to, of course. I always hear Hiram saying things like that, and I've never mentioned it, but there is a disclaimer in my description box. I have not been for a very long time, or, I don't want to say ever, since I've been cruelty-free, I do not link the non-cruelty-free products because I don't want the commission off the sales of those. But I also don't want to be promoting those products in any way, if that makes sense. I feel like I've rambled on about this topic long enough. I think I just need a time frame, and then be allowed to like move on with that phase, because I do feel guilty using those products on camera. I do want to touch on the Black Lives Matter movement. So the other week I went silent so that other voices can be heard instead of mine, even though I have opinions and thoughts and support to give. You should be listening to Black creators who are more educated on the topic than I am, which I shared on everywhere except for YouTube, I think, Twitter, Instagram stories my latest book order. So I ordered White Fragility, which I plan on reading ASAP. That is actually written by a white author, so I wanted to purchase some books also by Black authors because I love reading. Reading and beauty are my two biggest hobby type passions. And so I also bought with the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, who is an Afro-Dominican author, and I'm also listening to The Poet X by her as well on audio from my library. And I picked up a few books for my kids. Just using my finger with the Super Shock one, so that I can be raising them to not only be not racist, because of course that's how I raised my kids, but to be allies. Because so Max, my oldest, is 9, and when all of this was really ramping up, and the riots and the protests were everything you saw when you logged on to social media, I think that's all I'm going to do, something really simple. Emmett was having a nap, and I was going to go get ready for my day, and he came in and just found me bawling my eyes out. And so I had to try and explain to him a little bit of what is going on in an age-appropriate manner. And he saw part of one of the protests, and he's like, "What do you mean Black Lives Matter? Of course they do. Of course you don't treat people differently based on the color of their skin. That doesn't make any sense." Because, innocent children, of course, that doesn't make any sense. And then "Oh, look at all the police there in a line. They must be there to support them as well. That's so awesome." And I was just like, how do you explain that? No, those police officers in a line are getting ready to blow tear gas in the faces of all of those innocent people. So I'm gonna cry all this makeup off. I have also ordered some books for the kids to read. We can read them as a family. And I'm still sharing resources on my stories on Instagram the most. That's where I get the most back and forth, the most engagement. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, I would really love it if you did that. I just really don't know what this world is coming to. And I'm Canadian, so it seems like it's so far removed for me, but there's definitely racism in Canada as well, both towards Black Canadians, but also Native Canadians, which I'm sure is the case in the States as well, which it's not getting talked about as much just currently. There is no helping these brows right now. I started to stop trying to maintain them. Oh, I keep putting things back in my drawer. When things started opening up around me. But I'm just not comfortable going anywheres right now, and especially I'm definitely not going to get my brows done with all 3 kids in tow. I don't even own a face mask because I literally have not gone anywheres except for to the post office a handful of times to ship Poshmark orders. And Poshmark gives you the shipping label, so I can either run in and drop it if it won't fit in the slot thing, but more often than not, if it will fit, in the like drop off thing outside. That's what I've been doing. Like, I haven't gone to the grocery store, I haven't gone shopping, I haven't gone to a restaurant, so I don't even own a face mask. I have a couple ideas for a series that I'm hoping to do, like if I can do it financially, and I want to have like a Black owned type of series, maybe once a month. I'm not sure how it's gonna look yet. I just started brainstorming it, so don't hold me to it yet, but yeah, whether I call it like Blackout Tuesday or something like that, where I use Black owned brands, whether that's an eyeshadow palette review or a lip swatch video or full face of Black owned, which I don't have anywhere near enough stuff for at this time. But let me know if that's something that interests you. I don't know how I'm going to structure it yet, but it's definitely an idea that I've had. I've been filming for almost an hour for this really basic makeup look. I talked about a lot and talked about a lot of nothing at the same time and had to keep pausing. Sorry, you could hear, you know what? I'm not sorry. You can hear my baby playing with some toys in the background, and he stayed pretty happy the whole time. I had lots of questions and requests for some comments for you to leave down below for me. I definitely want your guys' feedback on those topics. I feel better having done this Get Ready With Me and getting some things off of my chest, and I want to do more Get Ready With Me's, chatty videos, reviews and tutorials. I want to get back to that. I did that a lot more before, and then panning videos just get the most views, and when I don't have a lot of time to be posting a lot right now, that was my focus, but it wasn't fulfilling me completely. I love panning. I love making panning content, but I don't want that to be the only content on my channel. So I want to find a little bit of a better balance. So that's the plan. If you guys did enjoy today's Try to Get Ready With Me, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know some topics I can talk about in the next one. Maybe I can do these once a month. Who knows? My schedule's all over the place right now, which I plan on talking about soon. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.